deep one. You bet! Caitlin Clark!
Clark, they said she has redefined what a good shot is. Look how far out she was. Clark comes down. There's one of those long passes. Oh, little French pastry!
Caitlin Clark has taken the basketball global with the aid of Storm, and in case you've been paying attention, you understand why. Her court vision, instincts, and record-breaking performances make her one of the brightest stars inside the WNBA. But how did she get right here, and how has her presence changed the Indiana Fever? Today, we'll discover her journey from her early days to her upward thrust within the WNBA,
Clark, Boston connection, those two have been the second best scoring,
where she's rewriting what it means to dominate the game, one jaw-losing play at a time. Caitlin Clark's basketball adventure began in her fatherland of West Des Moines, Iowa. Her early days had been full of pickup video games and steady practice, shaping her into the dynamic participant she is these days. Raised in a sports activities-loving circle of relatives, Caitlin becomes surrounded by using opposition from a young age. Both of her brothers performed football on the collegiate stage. However, Caitlin had exclusive desires.
But I think it's just like, just respond, come down, let your play do the talking.
Basketball turned into her calling. By the time she reached Dowling Catholic High School, Caitlin had already mounted herself as a force at the court docket. She averaged over 30 factors per sport in her senior year, putting her at the radar of important colleges across the state. What set her aside became now not just her scoring ability, but additionally her leadership and poise below stress. She became a 5-celebrity recruit and ranked a number of the pinnacle players in the country by the point she graduated. But it wasn't till her time on the University of Iowa that she surely started out to make waves. In her first season, Caitlin shattered records, mained the state in both factors and assists. She became an on-the-spot sensation, setting up video game-like numbers without difficulty. She wasn't simply every other college participant. She was a person who turned into going to alternate the sport. During her sophomore season, she averaged almost 27 points in line with sport, alongside 8 assists and 7 rebounds, displaying the sector that her skill set turned into unmatched. Caitlin became definitely destined for the following level, the WNBA. When the 2024 WNBA draft rolled around, it was no marvel that Caitlin Clark changed into the top preference. The Indiana Fever decided on her because the number one typical select.
And then obviously college basketball has come true, and then hopefully the WNBA here very shortly. And
with that, a brand new era began for both Caitlin and the franchise. There became masses of buzz surrounding her arrival. Could she reflect her university achievement inside the world's most competitive ladies basketball league? It didn't take long to find out. The Fever were in want of a franchise player for years, and Caitlin's arrival felt just like the starting of something huge. A player like her doesn't just come into the league to fill a gap. She involves change the sport. From the moment she stepped at the court docket in her Fever jersey, expectations had been sky excessive. Her debut game turned into quite expected, and Caitlin did now not disappoint. She right away confirmed her scoring prowess, placing up double-digit factors and doling out assists like she'd been inside the league for years, while the Fever had...
The last time we were all together for the show, we talked so much about their pick and roll together. But to me,
struggled in the past. With Caitlin running the floor, they suddenly gave the impression of a crew with playoff capability. But it wasn't all easy cruising. Caitlin had to alter to the velocity and physicality of the WNBA, something even the best players take time to conform to. The opposition was more difficult, and every opponent knew who she turned into and attempted to close her down. Despite the challenges, Caitlin fast rose to the event. Her court docket attention, blended together with her relentless work ethic, made her stand out without delay. Once Caitlin discovered her footing in the WNBA, her breakout performances got here speedy and difficult. She had numerous games that made everybody sit up and take notice. However, some stood out as proper recreation changers. One of the maximum memorable changed into her triple-double just a few months into the season. With 32 factors, 12 assists, and 11 rebounds, she have become one of the youngest gamers to ever obtain this feat in the league's records. But the magic didn't prevent there. Caitlin additionally had a career-high 40-factor sport towards the protecting champions. She hit 7 3 guidelines and showcased her scoring versatility. But what made this performance special changed into her potential to manipulate the game. She wasn't simply scoring, she began setting up her teammates, breaking down defenses, and showing that she may want to dominate in each aspect of the sport.
Caitlin Clark is doing a tremendous job of elevating women in sport and shining.
Her performances in opposition to some of the league's pinnacle teams became a defining second for her rookie season. The Fever were the underdog for years. However, with Caitlin on the roster, they were frightening the league's powerhouses. Fans and analysts alike commenced to recognize that Caitlin wasn't just an interesting rookie, she turned into a game changer. By mid-season, Caitlin became averaging over 31 points, consistent with sport, mained the league in scoring and proving that she changed into a legitimate MVP candidate. Her stats were off the charts, and each recreation seemed to carry some other spotlight reel moment. Whether it turned into draining a deep three-pointer or threading a perfect pass through visitors, Caitlin's dominance was clear. Defenders couldn't parent out the way to stop her. They'd press her at the three-point line, however she'd flippantly sink a shot from deep. They'd double-crew her, however she'd find an open teammate. Her breakthrough performances have been the gas the Fever had to rise lower back into playoff contention. Caitlin's sport is electrical, undeniable and easy. She's regarded for her deep three-point taking pictures, and it's no longer an exaggeration to mention that she can shoot from anywhere on the court. Her variety is limitless, and defenders don't have any desire, however, to defend her from the instant she crosses half-of-court docket. Her potential to pull up for a deep three has emerged as one of her signature actions. But that's now not all. Caitlin has a top-notch, court imaginative and prescient that sets her other than maximum gamers. She sees the game some steps beforehand of everybody else, making her a dangerous playmaker. Whether it's a no-appearance skip or a perfectly timed lob, she knows where her teammates are always. Her assist numbers display simply how lots of an unselfish participant she is, even as leading the league in scoring. Her versatility is any other key to her success. Caitlin can attack the basket, soak up touch, and end within the paint simply as without difficulty as she can pull up from deep. Her combination of size, velocity, and talent makes her nearly not possible to guard. Whether it's a smaller, quicker defender or a bigger, more potent one, Caitlin finds a way to exploit their weaknesses. What makes Caitlin simply unique, though, is her mental sturdiness. She prospers below strain and embraces the task of being the pass-to player in seize moments. It's that confidence and poise that make her one of the maximum thrilling gamers to watch today. When Caitlin Clark joined the Indiana Fever, the crew instantly have become one of the maximum talked about franchises within the league. Her impact has been enormous, both on and off the court. Before Caitlin's arrival, the Fever have been in a rebuilding segment, struggling to locate their identification. With Caitlin main the way, the Fever are actually contenders. One of the maximum major adjustments has been the group's offense. Caitlin has injected new life into their machine, turning them into one of the highest scoring groups within the league. Her ability to run the ground, create opportunities for her teammates, and take control in crunch time has completely converted the Fever's playstyle. Caitlin's management has additionally made a big difference. She leads with the aid of instincts, whether it's through her paintings ethic in exercise or her intensity in games. Her teammates have stepped up their sport, understanding their gambling along a generational talent. Her unselfishness and capability to make those around her better have modified the culture inside the Fever organization. Off the courtroom, Caitlin's big name strength has drawn interest to the Fever like in no way before. Ticket income have skyrocketed, and her jersey is one of the excellent sellers inside the WNBA. Fans are flocking to look her play, and she or he's quickly turn out to be the face of the franchise. In just one season, Caitlin Clark has grew to become the Indiana Fever into a crew to be reckoned with. So what's subsequent for Caitlin Clark? The sky's the limit. At just the start of her WNBA career, Caitlin is already on a path to greatness. With more than one MVP-worth performances in her rookie season, it's clear that she's most effective going to get higher with time. Experts are predicting that she'll quickly be contending for league MVP awards and leading the Fever deep into the playoffs. Caitlin's legacy isn't just about stats, although. She's already inspiring a brand new era of basketball players, in particular younger ladies who see her as a position model. Her effect on the sport goes past what she does on the court. It's about how she's helping to raise girls' basketball to new heights. The Fever's future is bright with Caitlin on the helm. As she keeps to develop, the group will best get more potent. Fans and analysts alike are eagerly looking to peer what she'll do next. Will she smash greater facts, lead her team to a championship? With Caitlin, whatever seems possible. Caitlin Clark is building a legacy to be able to be remembered for years to come, and it's safe to say that her tale is simply getting began. Caitlin Clark's tale continues to be being written, however, it's already mythical. From her beginnings in Iowa to her present-day domination inside the WNBA, she's proving that she's right here to stay. If you're excited to see what Caitlin does next, ensure to comment, percentage, and enroll in the channel. Don't neglect to hit the bell icon so that you in no way leave out and replace at the superb adventure of one of the brightest stars in basketball these days. Let's keep following Caitlin Clark's outstanding profession, due to the fact the best is but to return.